jump on in here. We're going to be creating papers for tonight's event. Wait, hold on. Be careful. All right, girls, let's do it. Had to say goodbye to the hubby. The main man, my main squeeze. All right, here we go. We're going to be creating papers, but first, this is this week's schedule where you'll find me live on Whatnot Now, live tonight for the Crafty Bunch on Facebook, YouTube over here on Friday. So this schedule that I always put out on the Telegram channel, I always put it on the Facebook page. I sometimes remember to do it over there on YouTube. Sorry, YouTubers. Jump on the Telegram channel so that you're getting live notifications and the news and what's happening, the weekly schedule, all the things. Okay, that's this week's schedule. That being said, we are going to work on making papers. Now, this is yesterday's journal page. This is last week's journal page that I did, my gratitude journaling that I do every week inside the Craft Therapy Club with the members. So it was opened here drying off, and I thought I'd just show it to you because it was there. So there you have it. There you see it. All right, here's what we're going to start with today. Let me see if I can find us so I can see comments. Because I want to chat with you, of course. That's the whole idea, is to get to know you guys a little bit and welcome people in. I do have some giveaways today for those of you joining me, so thanks for being here. Jen's here. Andrea Scott, thank you for being here. Hello, Christina Martin is here, and Marley. Welcome, friends. What are you guys up to today? 911 Initiative. Hello. What's everybody up to? Let me grab a chair. I think the lighting is okay. These are 12 by 12 pieces of paper. This is a pack. One of you may have sent this to me a long while back. It was like a partial leftover pack of papers. And there's a lot of green in here. Now tonight, for the Crafty Bunch, I'm going to be taking part in the event called Feeling Green. So what I thought I would do tonight is put together a book for that event at 7:45 over on Facebook. So what I did was I grabbed some of the pages from in here that have greens on them. And I'm going to, we're going to jazz these up to get them ready for a signature and for making a book. I don't know, maybe some of it will be used for the cover. I'm not sure. But we're going to make pages for use in that book tonight. Excuse me. And then between now and then, I'll have a full plan for tonight and using these pages that I make with you this morning. So these will be getting cut down to make a book, but I'm going to start with these and we're going to paint. We're going to paint and mark up the backs of these because I do not like white in my books. I do not like any white. I just don't. I don't mind there being some blank kind of papers, but I don't like them to be completely white. I have some more paper here that I can pull if we need it, but we're just going to start with these, what I have right here. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. What's everybody up to today? Good morning. It's Monday. It's St. Patty's Day. It is snowing here. We are in a winter weather advisory, which makes me nervous. When my son goes to school, I have to tell you, I'm a little bit nervous when he goes to school. All right, I don't want a terrible lot of green, but I'm going to pull some colors from, I've rearranged things on my desk so that I hopefully have more room when I go live. And now I'm not so sure about that. Okay, this is called Aloe, so it's a very light grayish green. I actually think I would like that better. And I think I'll just pull some black and white gesso and paints. I have my white gesso right here. I'm going to collage a little bit first on here. And lastly, before I do anything, you see I'm working on my table. I think what I'm going to do is grab something to put underneath this so that I don't muck up my table too much. So I have this old calendar. I use these calendars in my office, and I've been saving them so that I have the base of it, which is really nice and sturdy, for putting over my desk and saving my desk from getting too mucked up, which I think is pretty smart. Although this one's very, very weighty. I think I can live with it. Hello and welcome, everybody. I know, don't we though, Denise? Denise says we need spring. Girl, she says she's enjoying the snow with a barf sign. I'm so ready. All right, so Gannon got a ticket last week, and he's lost the keys to his car that he drives himself to school. So his friend Ty, he had to make arrangements for getting himself to school. So his friend Ty agreed to pick him up, which is great, right? But I'm nervous with the boys driving themselves to school. I asked my hubby, I'm like, do you think that they're okay? And he's like, yep, they're fine. Men just don't think the same as us ladies. They just don't. I'm making some papers to collage with, girls. We're just gonna, this is something I printed. You see some ink on here? I won't even go into a big explanation. It's just leftover ink from my printer. So we're gonna use these. And I have a whole bunch of paper scraps from a different project. That project that I used those vintage wallpaper printouts. Like, let's use these up, and I'll probably grab some book pages. Yeah, let's do it. Let me grab some book paper. Because why not? We're making background that is just, I just don't like blank. I just don't want blank on here. Okay, more white space on here than there is on here. So I'm going to use this one. But I don't want the entire, let's cut it into bigger chunks. Smaller chunks, but big. I don't want, okay, so here's what I always think about. When you are short on time and you're trying to do collage work, it is always better to have bigger pieces than itty bitty bitty. Like the smaller the pieces are, it makes sense, right? If you have 40 of these and you're trying to cover this and you're going to glue 40 of these down, takes a lot longer than if you have 10 of those. Yes? So bigger pieces are helpful when you want to, not necessarily short on time, but I want to make a lot of progress here. I have a lot of papers to cover. Now that even has a nice color to it, so I'm going to put that off to the side because maybe I will use that. We're just prepping paper right now. Foxy Teen, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. Hey, Wendy. Good morning. What's it like where you guys are? For all of you dealing with those storms, I saw a couple of videos that people, just random people, I don't even know where, on social media posted about the activity of the storms that have gone through this eastern part of the country. And holy buckets, you guys. I mean, raining buckets. It's been wild. Just wild. I'm going to scoot this. Of course, as always, I need more room. I don't necessarily need this whole thing to be covered. I don't even know. This is 12 by 12. So on this one, I'll probably be cutting like a chunk of the top off of here because the book won't be 12 by 12, of course. So I don't need to cover it all. On this one, I'm going to focus on covering the bottom and doing something decorative. I'm going to try to use up this matte gel medium. Look at what a mess that is. Ugh, yuck, right? I have these paintbrushes sitting here. Oh, I don't want to use any of those. It's funny. I have paintbrushes, like old crusty ones that I kind of use for gel mediums. They're, oh, that one's really stiff because I cleaned it, right? So it's got cleaning conditioner on it. So this one's really stiff. That's kind of what I want to use for something like this. It'll soften up as we go. So we're going to start gluing stuff down, and I think I'm going to do some collage work and painting. Okay. So just, you'll see, there's a method. There's usually a method, albeit loose. I like creating loose. I don't want to be pigeonholed into anything, right? I get pigeonholed in other parts of my life. I don't need pigeonholed in my creative stuff. I don't want to be too strict, I guess is what I'm saying. I should have more papers ready though, Gracie. I didn't like really have a whole lot of papers truly ready over here. I just was so excited to start putting stuff down. I'm going to unbuckle these and just have them so I can go through them like this. That's a beautiful brownish. Ooh, I like it. And I need more glue. You can use whatever glue you want, whatever glue you have on hand. And then I just need something little for down here. I like the wonky edges, of course. Do you see, I kind of, a lot of times when I do this, and you can use Mod Podge, you don't have to have a fancy heavy glue. I go under with the glue and then I go over the edges just to make sure that they kind of stick down. So that's what you're seeing there. Under and over. So under, and I'm overlapping. So we're going to overlap over this because I'll put something over that and then quickly find something. I don't need all green. I can use other colors. Oops, slippery. I'm going right off the edge of my paper so that I get full coverage, and that's why I put that brown thing underneath the old calendar. Try to get that down. I actually really like the edge of that. I might leave that so I can play with it later. Okay, let's go up here and do a little more because I'm definitely going to need this top part filled in somehow. Get another book page. Sideways, sure, why not? Nobody said it has to be the right side up. Did you? Did anybody tell me that? I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo. All right, we got offcuts here. Prepare when you do something like this to have your fingers get very wet with glue. So if you like your fingers to be pretty, clearly it's not an issue for me, but if you have pretty nails and you pay for a manicure, I might suggest that you put some gloves on just to help yourself out. Good morning. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Kara Wood, welcome. Hello, hello. Yes, I'm using a gel medium because I'm trying to use this bottle up. It's an old bottle and it's just not, I really prefer Liquitex, but I have this on hands and I've had it forever. So I'm just trying to use it up. Okay, I'm going to put this aside for now to dry and I'm going to grab another piece. We're going to do a couple of these and then we're going to paint on top of them. This is the next one. So there really, it doesn't need to be a top and bottom of this. You see, it's just very, it doesn't matter which way it goes. Here's my book pages. Let's start with a couple of these. I should have grabbed more papers. Friends, I should have grabbed more papers. Sticky. This is a sticky glue. It's interesting because depending on what brand you get of glues, some of them are more loose. Some of them are even in, you know, it's supposed to be a heavy gel medium and it definitely is thicker, right? But some of them are, this one's matte. So you want to look at that too. Like you might have matte gel medium or a glossy or a satin gel. Well, they usually are matte or glossy. But sometimes even a matte will leave almost a satin finish as opposed to a true matte. That's why I really like Liquitex because it is absolutely invisible and totally matte when it dries, which I love. Okay, see this straight edge? I hate straight edges on my projects. So I'm going to put that straight edge on the straight edge. And then we'll cover up the straight edges along the edges. Oh, so that was a lot of edges in one sentence. I'm trying to get some glue under there. See this here? Let's cover it up. Let's do something. Let's do something. I'm just going to my scraps here. Straight edges. I don't like you. That would be cool. These being random is kind of really fun because you don't never know what the mix is going to end up looking like when you're done gluing everything down. See, this is why I use crap brushes for this because I'm really rough with them and I'm not careful. I don't care if the bristles get all mucked up and messed up. Actually, this piece, let's put it down here. Can you see that? Am I off screen? Oh, I'm barely on screen, but it's okay. Smaller piece of book paper. Here we go. Anybody else like collage work? I like collage work, but today maybe I'll just do a couple of these to showcase to you. I'm also going to be painting over these. I think I'm going to do some painting. You know, coffee stained papers, they always, see how different they are? Not all of them are the same, which is glorious to me. They all give you different coloring and markings, and some are more wrinkled than others, which is nice. I like that. I like the variety. I almost dipped this in my coffee. That would have been bad. That would have been ick. Icky, icky. Anybody get anything fun going on today? Or who's going to work? Give us your report. What's everybody up to? I have this gorgeous paper, and it basically fits here. I don't want to waste a stinking bit of it. I mean, this is that antique ledger paper that I sell here on Whatnot. I'm going to do, let me get a giveaway going. Let's get the first giveaway. I'm going to do a paper ephemera giveaway. So somebody will get a little paper ephemera. It's up there in the corner. It should be running. Somebody tell me if it's not, but it should be running. Okay, now see something here. Do you see I'm mainly doing just the bottom half of this? That doesn't have to be that way. I just know that when I'm using this to make book pages for a book, for a signature in a book, I am not going to use the entire 12 by 12. I'm only going to be using part of it. Like say usually my books are 6 to 8 inches, 6 inches across, 8 inches tall. So here, that's 8 inches right there. So that's why I'm only going up, because that other part will get chopped off likely. So I don't need it. It'll get used for something else. Don't you worry. I'm not going to throw it out. But when I'm making signatures in my book, I just don't want white paper. That's the goal. Here, that's the goal. I think I'm missing comments. Am I? Oh, sure I am. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Go ahead and join that giveaway. Minerva's Touch, hello, hello. She says, I like it when I like it, but sometimes it feels so tedious. I call this tired crafting, Minerva's Touch, when I'm too tired to put any thinking into anything. So this is just a green floral. Again, I can just do part of the page. All right, I'll do this one last one collage, and then we'll start painting. When I'm too tired to actually do anything that causes any required thinking, this is a really, I mean, and this is, you may consider tedious. Yes, it can be tedious if your mind wants to do something more, but sometimes your mind can't handle. I mean, anybody been there? I can't handle anything more. So this is a really good activity, like prep work to do on your papers for your art, that it's something you can do. Like a lot of nights I'll say to myself, after everybody's settled, dinner's done, the kids are settled in with their homework, and like everybody's settled in for the night, like everybody's fine. I made sure mom-wise that everybody had what they needed, and we're all just kind of settling in. I want to do something creative, yet I'm too tired. Now I don't have any energy to really think, but I desperately want to have some me time in my creative space. This is one of the tired crafting suggestions that I have for you. I call it tired crafting. I want to craft, but I'm too tired. This is so easy. There's no thinking. We just do. And it still gets our fingers moving, still gets our, this is a magazine page actually, with that pretty little floral on it. Let's use it. Let's do it right here. It's just a nice thing to have in your like toolbox of, I actually have a printed list of tired crafting. It's a freebie printable that I offer for folks, that it just has a list of ways that you can create when you're just too tired to do much thinking. Now this is coffee dyed, but it had a stencil behind it, so it gives us that really cool stenciled look. Don't love the straight edges, but we're going to keep it. I don't want to cover that plant. I'm going to keep the plant. I like it. And then this, nope, too much green in one spot. Let's do something different. Maybe a book page. Let's chop up a book page. Yep. We'll do that. Finishing the frame on my pegboard walls so I can fill, sand, and paint and organize and hang out there. Minerva's Touch. That sounds exciting. Good for you. Oh, I don't want this. I just want the words. So cute. So dumb that I think it's cute, but I do. I like the way it's looking. I could do one strip of something up there to add some color and visual interest. You know, sometimes these collage papers, the way they work out, and then I'm like, I don't want to cover it. I just like it the way it is, but we're going to cover it, girls. We're going to, not completely, because, you know, I love it, so I don't want to cover it completely, but I do want to put some painting over this, because this is meant to be the background, so it's not the finished deal, right? It's just what's going to lie in the background of whatever else I'm going to put on that page in the book. I just don't like a white page in my junk journals. So I do like to cover them a bit. All right, maybe a coffee stained. Oh, I have this. It's too much. The rest of that, let's do it. It's the other half of that page right there. So my brush helps me when I'm going over it. It helps to push it down. It also helps to make sure that those edges stay down. Now, some people, when you see them do this, they use something like this, which works too, you know, to push everything down. But since I already have this in my hand, I might as well just keep working with it. Okay, do I have 8 inches is the question. Nope, not quite. There's 8. So I need one more strip right there of something little. These are pretty long. That one's gray speckled. I like it. Let's do it. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Hazel Ames Paper and Create. Hey, listen, that sounds like a business name, but I'm not sure if you have here on Whatnot or otherwise, but mostly on Whatnot. If you have a Whatnot business profile here, meaning you are creating or selling items on Whatnot, can you share in the comments, please? I'm inviting you to share. I want you to know that you're welcomed to share what you do, when you're what you sell, if you create live, when you do it, if you have a schedule, meaning like I'm live every Monday and Tuesday, or if you have something scheduled and you want people to know about it, to go bookmark. I do have a live sale coming up this week. Where's my schedule? On Thursday at 9 a.m. I'll be live here for an auction, and I'm going to have craft supplies mainly, but I'll have some home decor, vintage and regular home decor. Okay, I'm going to put this aside to dry and grab the first page that we worked on because it should be dry by now. So please bookmark my show on Thursday so that you can join me. Now look, this is still wet, and I have this piece right here that I should probably cover. I just got a whole bunch on my fingers. Let's cover this up quick, and then I'll just do a little dry time before I paint. Oh, I love, like, this has like ratty edges. I love it. I love it. Okay. I just want the colored parts, not the white part, the part that has some color. Even though it's very, very, what is that? I don't even know if it's a set of stairs. I have no idea. That's the fun of collage. We have no idea where it came from. It's a magazine page. It's a remnant from a magazine page that I used. I'm not loving this, so let's throw something up there. All right, I'm going to check the comments because I want to see who's here that has something going on Whatnot that we can take part in. I need more glue. Oh, look at, I'm getting through my glue bottle, which makes me so happy because I want to use it up, man. Let's use that one up so I can get rid of the bottle. I have so many bottles of different glues, it's not even funny. Why are you sticking up? There you go. Okay, we're going to dry, then we're going to paint. All right, shared Life, thank you so much, you guys, for helping out like that. Good morning, good morning. Did we pick a winner for the, oh, we did, and I missed it. Who won that first giveaway? Let me look it up. It looks like Gaylor. Gaylor? Is that an I in there? Gail. Gail, congratulations on winning that first paper ephemera giveaway. It's just a way of saying thank you for hanging out with me. I have 2 more to offer during today's time together. So remind me. I won't do them all at once. Let's split them up a little bit. Thank you for this at work, then tired when I get home. Nancy, I'm the same way, friend. I'm the same way. And I have a creative business. So it's been a real struggle lately. I will be totally honest with you. So I have a creative business. What does that mean? I teach and demonstrate creative techniques and projects on social media. And I have a club. I have a membership club, and we have a very full schedule where I go live about 3 to 4 times a week with them, sharing project ideas, full projects. Um, I show different techniques for like art journaling and tag making, artist trading cards. I mean, you name it. Mixed media. I do have some paintings in that class or workshop membership. So at the end of the day, when I'm done doing that for others, then I want to be creative for my own me time. And when I come into my space, I've been in here a lot today. So I said to my husband the other day, I want to do something, but I feel a little burnt out from creating, honestly, to be honest with you. So it's a real struggle when I come into my craft space. Like, what do you want to do? Well, I could always work. I always have things that I have to prepare for work, which is what I love to do, is my creative stuff. But I just want to do it for myself. So I struggle with that. So these kinds of projects where it's prepping pages, it'll be great to have it done. It does take time. It needs to get done, right? So, but it doesn't require a lot of thinking, and I still get to have some creative energy going. And I put in either music or a podcast or like a Netflix series or something, and I could chill out watching something because it doesn't take a lot of thought for this while I'm doing it. I figure while I have my dryer out, let me hit these with a little bit of air. That's pretty good. This one. Thanks, Minerva's Touch. You're so sweet. Thank you for saying so. I'm fast at this. I'm telling you, girl, that's my big tip for you. The bigger the pieces of paper, the fewer times you have to glue. So if you're short on time or simply impatient, like if putting 40 little tiny pieces of paper together isn't worth the effort for you in terms of the result, then use bigger pieces for your collage work, and then it just won't take you so long. Okay, girls, I'm sorry. I'm going to do a giveaway. I have to apologize. I have to go use the restroom. Coffee's going right through me, and my painful bladder syndrome is kicking in. So let me do another giveaway. I'm going to walk away and hit the restroom. Somebody, if you don't mind, putting in the comments, there's another giveaway going. You have to stick around to win. If you leave once you jump in that giveaway, and your name will be pulled out from the hat, okay? It will take me less than a minute because the bathroom's right next door, but somebody just type in, hostess will be right back, potty break or something like that. When my brain can't even anymore, I like to splat ink on wax paper and drag paper through it. Ooh, I love that. I love the splat terminology. Okay, I'm back. Minerva's Touch. Man, you are like my kind of chick in terms of terminology. I love that splat terminology that you used. I'm going to put this back. Look at how grungy it is. In my water for now because I don't think I need glue for now. I'm prepping pages for tonight. I don't know. I haven't determined. I'm going to do some kind of book. The event tonight is called Feeling Green event, and it's for the Crafty Bunch group on Facebook. So I don't know. I'm going to do some type of book. I'm going to put together some type of book. I think what I'll do, we're going to prep these pages, and then between now and tonight when I go live at 7:45, that's Central, on my page over at Facebook, I'm going to cut these excess off. I will probably go to one of my printable memberships and find maybe I can find a St. Patrick's Day journal kit or printable kit that I can use. And I'll use some printables that are put together for St. Patrick's Day, if I can find one. Or at least green themed. And I'll combine the printables with my own papers. I'm not a huge fan of a junk journal that is all printables. I really personally like to have a mixture. I think I missed my corner here, girls. Leave it to Gracie. I always do it at least once, yes? You girls who know me know. If you know, you know. Let's just glue stick to the rescue. Okay. Now, we're going to do some painting on these. They are still a little damp because I used a lot of glue and it was a heavy gel medium glue. Let's make some space. I'm going to get my little paint palette out, my tiny little daisy, and we're going to fill that up with some paints, and we're going to cover these up because I'm going to be this is a background layer, so this will end up in the far background. It's just the first layer. So I'm going to put on top of this some paints, and then I don't know how I'll end up using these pages later. But for now, I just wanted to get them prepped. So I think what I'm going to do is use a scraper. I should not leave my stuff in water, but I do it all the time. This has been sitting in water all night. Paper towel. I gotta go under my desk to get a paper towel because that's where they fit in my room. I don't have so much. I can't be the only one with limited space. You got about a minute to get in that paper ephemera giveaway if you'd like to. And it's just for anybody following. You don't have to buy anything. I'm not even selling anything right now. I'm just creating. I haven't used printables yet in a handmade book or journal. Oh, is there do you mind sharing the why? Is it just you haven't had time or you prefer not to? I would love to know what you think of that. Christina, she says, I love my silicone brush. I love it too. It gives you, and right, you're going to get different markings than with a paintbrush. So it's kind of fun to have like different, these are silicone on the bottom of these brushes. These are from Art Basics. Finnabair, and I have 3 of these. I hardly ever use them actually, but they can make some really different marks. I'm gonna pull them out. I might as well, right? There's a 3rd one. Where did you go? Here it is. It's easier if it's behind white so you can kind of see. See how they're different? This one is like a silicone paintbrush, but they would all give you different looks to what you're trying to spread out on the page. Let's do one at a time. I want this to be muted down. It's very, very, these dark spots, I'm not going to be able to create or journal on. So we're going to mute this down with either black or white. I want it to be pretty neutral. I did grab this green, but it's way too bright. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm not going to use that. The aloe green though, the Dina Wakley aloe is very, very light, and that absolutely can be part of the neutral background. So I'm going to put a little of it. Well, Gracie, think for a minute. I don't want to use this. You know why? I want a sheer coat. So I want to be able to grab this and then like spread it out a little on my applicator, whatever I'm using, and then spread it. And there's just not enough room in here. I mean, it can hold my paint, but I can't spread. Maybe I'll just use right here to spread. All right, I'm trying. Okay, Gracie, I talk to myself. Don't overthink it, Grace. Just do. Don't overthink. When you overthink, when I do anyway, I tend to talk myself out of stuff. And I start to doubt myself, and then the negative chatter in my head starts in. Like I start telling myself that looks dumb. I shouldn't have done that. Oh man, I'm making a mess. Like I try really hard, and I'll always encourage you girls, Just don't do it to yourself. Just stop it with the negative, okay? I don't think I'm going to be using this black a whole lot on its own. I think I'm going to have to mix it with the white gesso to give myself a lighter color. Hello, North Dakota neighbor. How are you, Emmy's Fun Finds? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate you. All right, some white gesso over here. Let's start with white. I'm just gonna, why do I feel like I want to just mix in some black right away and see? So, oh, that's way too dark. That's way too dark. Ah, too dark. Too dark. You know what I'm gonna do? Your friend in this, when you're trying to go for transparent, is some. This is Liquitex Matte Medium Fluid. Okay, it's a fluid medium, so it's acrylic. So it's like acrylic paint with no color. Think of it that way. I also use it for collage glue. Sometimes I use the gel, sometimes I use the fluid, but it is a liquid acrylic fluid. It's very watery compared to your paints usually, and it's not going to add any color, but it's going to move your, see how it's moving my colored paint, my colored acrylics around, because it was too dark for me. I didn't want that darkness, but I want to move that color. So I'm scraping it down to other parts of the page. So that is a really good thing to have in your stash. If you want, I use both Golden and Liquitex. I think I prefer Liquitex, but this is it. Multi-purpose low gloss fluid acrylic. Can you hear it? It's very, very loose. I use the word viscosity because it's the best way I can describe it. The thickness of it is very loose. Okay, this is a fluid matte medium. So it's matte and it's a fluid acrylic. It has no color. So when you want to take that black paint and you want to keep it black, but you want it to just be looser so you can spread it, you add this to whatever you're working with. It can also be used as a glue for things like this, for your collage. Now, this is the Golden brand fluid. I prefer Liquitex. This is the same product, but in a thicker viscosity. So it's a gel. It's still a clear acrylic medium, but this one is a gel. It's just like what I was using here. That's a acrylic gel. So you can mix it with your paints. Acrylic paints, chalk paints, you can mix it with craft paints. And this one's really thick. And it can be used as a glue. I use this stuff all the time when I create because it just helps me it gives me more options, which I really like. Okay, so see what I'm trying to, I don't want this stuff to disappear. I just want to cover it a little bit. I'm going to grab some white, which is just the acrylic over here, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the liquid. You got, oh, did it pick a winner? And I missed it again because I'm chatty Cathy. I'm trying to tell you some things that might be helpful. All right, let's go with the gray since we already have gray going. And actually, I'm not blending it real well, so it's almost like it's got streaks of white, streaks of black. It's just a little bit of everything but a smoky gray coming on here. This stiff, it's got some movement, but it's kind of stiff, so it helps me to scrape more than a brush would. So this can be a really fun tool, like Christina said, to work with. All right, see what I got going here? Now over here, we've got greens. I don't necessarily want that to disappear. I'm going to try to be lighter on this side. Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. We're going to move over. We're going to work over here now, so you'll be able to see it. Thanks for telling me. I'm glad I looked up at the comments here. All right, who won that last giveaway? Oh, Janice, JWell Creations. I'll be sending you some paper ephemera, friend. All right, we're going to go basic white. Can you see that? You can, right? Basic white. If the words on the screen and all the like letters and stuff are in your way, just swipe from the right to the left, and it'll get rid of all those words and the chatting, and then you can see the whole screen. All right, so see, this is more white. It's got a little black in there just because it's what's on my table. I might want just a little more of that. So I'm using lots of white gesso, a little bit of black acrylic paint, and then when I want to make it more fluid, I add in the fluid medium. Yep, there we go. We've got some coverage now. I love how it picks up the wrinkles and it kind of accentuates them. Remember, this is only the backdrop for whatever I'll end up doing on these pages. So what I mean by that, let me grab my gratitude journal again. I showed it to you earlier, but if you just came in, you might have missed it. Here's my gratitude journal. I don't want to get it wet, but here's my gratitude journal. This is a junk journal that I created, a gratitude journal entry in it every Sunday with the Craft Therapy Club, my membership club. So these pages, I don't like white pages, so this is what I'm trying to avoid. But this is obviously the background, right? This was a music page, and then yesterday we did all kinds of work on here with, I used stamps, I used my gel pen, I used some gesso and watercolor paints. Every single page that I do, I'm decorating part of it and then journaling on part of it. Okay, here's my journaling, and here was my decoration on that one. So this is still it's the background. So that black floral with the pink, it's not the end. It's not the end of how that page is going to work out, because I'm always going to be building something on top of it. See this one? Lots of built up on here. So whatever was underneath, it's going to get covered. Much of it's going to get covered, but it will still peek out and become part of the decorative process on these pages. So I like to have a lot of variety when I'm creating, and I don't put too much stake in or pressure on myself for what this should be. All right, let's use one of these because they're kind of fun. I'm going to grab this one because I haven't used it in a long time. I'm going to take a whole bunch of this black paint and I'm going to put it on here with this. And then let me just pick some up and see if we can make some marks. I need more black paint is what I need. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, friend? I hate wasting a stinking thing. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for being here. Helen, we're making papers for, I'm going to work on a junk journal tonight in an event called Feeling Green. So I'm making some background papers for, oh, I love this. It's super abstract and just, you guys, if you haven't done this kind of stuff, it's really so liberating because it's just freeing. You don't have to think a whole lot. You're just doing, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just we're not going for the end product as I just described. We're just creating for the sake of fun. Now, this will end up in a junk journal as part of the signature, part of the pages, and likely this will be folded like this. So this page can look completely different than this page because they're not going to be together in the book. So you can, if you want them to be completely different, you can totally make them that way. But I think what I'll do is grab some of this and just do some of this scratching over here, both up and down, because it's cool. And why not? There. Maybe I'll do a little right there. Use up that paint. Oh, it's coming loose. Don't come loose on me, friend. Okay, I'm going to put this aside. May do more to it. I'm not going to worry about it right now. This one, we'll pull a different one. Here's what we got. I'm going to go very light on this one. This is the problem with this screen being up and down makes it so hard for you guys to see everything that I'm doing. This is now in my way, actually. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, squish it down on there so it covers that up. I'm going to grab one of my mats because I can move this around. And I can put paint on here and move it around. And then I have more freedom to work. This space is so limiting. Okay. I want this to be a lot brighter. So I'm going to go, let's go with the green this time. I have this green. Still have some black on my spatula, but that's okay. I'm going to grab the green. I'm going to grab the liquid. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of black. It's not what I'm going for, but whatever. It's what it wants to be. So by doing this on my Teflon mat, I can show you what I'm doing over here, and then I can move it aside and pull this paper in screen so you can see better. All right, let's grab some of this white gesso to brighten this up some. Okay, I might even want more white gesso. Where is it? I want it to be slightly tinted, much brighter. I don't want it to be super dark. Playtime. This is play. This I'm still doing something productive because I'm going to use these papers tonight in the Think Green event on Facebook. But for now, I'm trying to just paint over my background and add. I want this to all look uniform. You can see how different these are, how different all of these papers and remnants are. They're all very different. So by putting a very light coat of something over it, it does make it all part of the same team is how the language I like to use. And you'll get some colors peeking through in the background. This book paper is very yellowed because it's old book paper. I like that, right? But I want these pages to all, it's like, I want them to all be on the same team. And so in order to achieve that, we're going to add one color over top all of it in a very light wash, which is going to make them all part of the same team is the way, or part of the same family is kind of the way I like to say it. Gosh, it's like take your softball team, right? You have all your friends on the softball team. I don't know if you belong to a softball team, bowling team, dart league. I don't know what it is. But, anything where you're wearing the same shirt. Think about it this way. Go on a cruise and all your family are going to put on the same shirt to show that you're all on a family cruise together. So I have one sister who has really blonde hair, a sister who's a redhead, my sister-in-law who has really dark hair, but we all have the same shirt on. Shows that we're part of the same team, same family, same group at an event. That's kind of how I think of this. Like this is, even though they're all different in the background, this same color over top, washed over the top of it. It's like that t-shirt. It shows that we're all part of the same family. However, we don't lose our unique orange, red, brown, green. It's still there. It's still there. We're not losing it. I don't know. That's kind of how I think of it. Okay, I love this. See how much lighter that is than this one? Because I added the black and the gray. Different vibe, totally a different vibe. I'm going to put this aside, let it dry a little, and let's grab the third one. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense anyway. This one is very green and yellow. Thank you, Carol. Carol says, I joined through your shared link. Yay! Thanks for being here. Thanks for the inspiration. Good luck on your event tonight. Have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hazy Ames, thanks for being here. Welcome, everybody. Buckbeak's Barn. She says, I love it. It's freeing and smiles. Yeah, it does bring smiles because it's so loose. Especially, I call myself a recovering perfectionist. So if you're somebody, I'm going to move to a brush just to show you how it can give you a completely different look. So let me move to a brush. Let me clean this off a little bit. Where's my paper towel? And let's do this same color. I'm going to use the same color that I made over here on this page, but I'll do it with a brush so you can see the difference. So first we're going to grab this little palette and we're going to grab some paints. So I'm going to grab the rest of my aloe. So that's like an aloe green. And I'm going to grab some white gesso. But now this is very opaque. If I just put this over my book page, this is going to cover it. I don't want to cover it. I want it to still show. Right? I don't want to cover it. I want it still to appear through there. So I want to make it more transparent. So I'm going to take that liquid medium. I need more of it, it looks like. And I'm going to mix it in with my paints to make it more transparent. Okay, so liquid, fluid matte medium. Added to it's made for acrylic paints, but it works with craft paints and chalk paints. Now, see how liquidy and movable it is? Now I can run this over, paint this over. Now look at this is from a magazine. That's a potted plant with a little clock. It's like a little vignette that somebody made. And I'm going to brush over it. I'm not going to lose the clock. I'm not losing the plant. I'm just washing over it with this color. So see the difference between going straight in with the paint, completely covers what's underneath, adding that liquid medium, and it just brushes over the top. That's what we're going for. And now with a brush, we get a really more consistent coverage than with that spatula. The spatula gives you like really inconsistent coverage. This one gives you more consistent. And it's toning down these really bold. This is a vintage wallpaper printable that I bought on Etsy. It's really bold papers, so we're going to tone that down. I don't want it to be the star of the show. I kind of want it in the background. Same with my book pages. I love the book pages. I love, love, love them. Did you see, for those of you who are hanging out with me for the first time or are just on Whatnot, not even with me on Facebook or YouTube, did you see my most recent, that art journal page that I did with my looking flower? I absolutely love when a book page shows through a project. Should I grab it and show it to you guys? See, I can still see it, but now it's covered with all the same color. I love this so much. Should I grab that, you guys? Do you want to see it? Hey, Shauna, thanks for being here. Katie Smith George, she says, I love her. I watched you create her. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you were there. Thanks for being there. Okay, this still feels very drab to me, and I have lots of white gesso left over. So I could take this white gesso and put it on here to brighten this up a little, keeping in mind, I do not want to cover my flowers. Do not want to cover my flowers. So maybe I could take this white gesso. I'm out of liquid medium. So here's my palette. It's a Teflon mat, right? Let's take some of this white gesso, which is basically white paint, acrylic paint. You use it as a primer. It's not exactly the same, but you could use it like white acrylic paint is what I guess I'm saying. It's a good primer for your projects when you're coming in with lots of different color, like pencils, crayons, watercolors. Okay, I'm going to take some of that white and let's make some marks on here that aren't going to make what's there disappear, but it's going to brighten up the page a little. So I'm going to come in and just brighten. We're going to add some, you can just brush, or I can come in and actually add markings like here on this. Maybe what I do is just super loose, super don't worry about what it's got. You know, the outcome here isn't the end of this because we're going to be doing more on top of it. We're just making marks. Now this little part right here that I was demonstrating, that's so dark with that green, I think I'll put some marks on there. This feels really dark right now, so I'm going to just brighten up that whole section with a little bit of the white gesso. And then let's come in here, especially this spot right here that is just, I put this little piece of paper on my wet paint. That's going to be fun to collage with at some point. I won't throw that out. I just wanted it to absorb that paint. Okay. By going over the edge, here's another tip. We have this dark green floral, and then we have this book page, and I have the margin, which was completely white, basically. There's nothing on it. It's just paper. By going over the edge in between the two, we're helping them look like they're on the same team, I guess is the terminology that I use. I am not a trained artist. It's just the language I use to describe what I'm doing. So by doing that, we're obscuring that like cutoff. That's a cutoff. Like, oh, here's the end of one piece of paper and the beginning of the other. I don't want that to be so obvious. So we can use our paints and our gesso and all of our mediums to come in here and make this less obvious, that cutoff. Okay, we're trying to take people's eye away from that line. We want it to go further in the back. Okay, that is dry now, so there's nothing I can do to change that. All right, now we used paints in acrylic medium, liquid acrylic medium, and we used gesso to do this part of it. So we collaged first with just random papers, and then we came over it with those products to kind of whitewash, not quite white, right? Because we have some gray and we have some aloe green in there. Now what I'm going to do is come in with some paint markers and maybe make some more marks on these. So for those of you who didn't see her, I forgot, like we're talking about my girl. Here, let me grab the girl. Let me grab the girl. Let me grab the girl for those of you who didn't see her. I love how the book page shows through her face. I love that. Through the stamping, I even have a bead medium there. It's like a glossy bead on these flower petals, which became her eyes. And you can see the book page right through that as well. Through my watercolor paints, or I can't remember, did I use crayons? I'm not sure. I just love that so much. So the book pages, to me, I don't ever want them, personally, you do you, girl, but I don't ever want them to disappear. I like my book pages showing through what I got going on. Hey, Helen, welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, Shannon. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday morning to you. What do you got going on? The mushroom, is it Minneapolis, Minnesota? Girl, I'm your neighbor in North Dakota. How are you? Welcome. All right, now paint pens, or listen, we could do paint pens. We could stamp. We could use markers. We could use pencils. We could use whatever the heck we want to do some more markings on here. I actually wouldn't mind doing a little stamping if you guys don't mind watching that. I have a bunch of stamps. Of course, you know, we have big stamps, we got little stamps. I really like neutrals. I'm trying to grab them for you so I can show you. These are polka dots. We got some diamonds. We got some brick wall. I don't even know what that's called, but we got some French words, I guess, like letters and words. I like, oh, I should grab my numbers. Let me grab my numbers and we'll do just 2 stamps. We'll do 2 different stamps and we'll use them all over just to add a little more visual interest. Hang tight. I'm looking for them. Where am I? I'm looking for my little. Can you hear me rummaging around? I can't. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. These are the stamps I used yesterday. In my gratitude journal, and since it fell on the floor, I think it's just telling me it wants to be used again. It just fell on the floor. That's the way I think. All right, let me grab a. Can you hear me throwing stuff? Like, I don't have a lot of room, so I throw stuff on the floor. We'll use that, and we'll use some of these. And I think I will. What color should I go with? It's a Think Green event, so I could use a green of sorts. Yep. I want to use archival because I want to make sure that this stays in place. Archival is a permanent, so I want to make sure it stays in place. So when I'm thinking of stamping on here, I'm thinking of stamping in places where there's not a lot going on. So we have words, we've got ledger paper. Here it's just a blab of color. Blabber blob. Blabber blob. So let's stamp some in here. And then up here, it's just really just paper, right? So let's make it a little more decorative. Yep. I don't know that this is going to get used up here, but I can put some of this here. I don't want a square image, so I'm trying to stamp in the middle and then drop it down. So I don't like the straight edges showing on a stamp on my projects. Okay, that's good. I'm going to do a little bit on the ledger paper. Remember, this is all background. And then total random numbers on the. Someone shout out a number. Which number should I use? Shout it out in the comments. Give me 2 numbers in the comments. Please, please. We'll make this interactive. 4. Someone said 4. Who was it? Minerva's Touch. 4. And then 13. So I'll go with 413. 413. I'll do it. Oh my gosh. I think, is that an area code for somebody? Is that a Massachusetts area code? I grew up in Massachusetts. My area code was 617, Boston proper. But is that a Western Mass area code? Does anybody know? Anybody from Massachusetts here? Or if you recognize this from anywhere, maybe it's not Massachusetts. Maybe it's from a different state. I don't know. I don't know. But I see it feels recognizable to me. 4, and I don't want this to be super accurate. I mean, I could, like, look, we could do 2 of these at once, but I don't want them to be, these have lines on them, but I'm not a line girl. I want them to be a little wonky. 13, that's my brother's number. I'm one of 13 kids. Gregory's number 13 in our family. My youngest brother. Hey ho, Greg, if you're out there. I'm sure he's not. He's not really a whatnot person, but he should be because it's so fun. There, I like it. I like it. I don't like things like totally lined up. As you can see, I like things messy and wonky. Messy and wonky. Okay, more numbers. Somebody shout more numbers. We're going to do a different page. All right, let's see what other numbers we got. Somebody said 5 and 7. Christina wanted 5 and 7. So we'll do 75 or 5 and 7 over here. Got those. I didn't clean them, so I'm getting green all over my hand. I probably will do a little wipe of these. When I'm all done, I'll probably take a wipe and wipe all over these. 5 and 7, right? That's what Christina wanted. Like that. Let's do them a little wonky. A little wonky. Okay, now I have not done any other stamping here. So we could go back with this. Let's see if this, I never used this green. Let's just see what it looks like on here. How bright it is. It looks brighter. It's not too bad. It's not like neon or anything. Let's just use a different color for the sake of it. Just for the fun. Just to use our stuff, right? Color that never gets any attention. Leaf green. I always use this one. Fern green because I like the deeper color. But this guy just is like saying, please, please put me to use. I want a job to do. It's a Think Green event, so I'm using green, but I think for these numbers, let's be a little bolder. I think I'm going to grab a black. This little corner over here is screaming for some attention. Just needs a little touch of something fun. Okay, let me get some black. Just let's be super bold here. Let's do it. For the 57. Yikes. And do I really want to be that bold? Oh, I don't know. We could go faint, or we could really go in and get some serious dark black going. Ah, that's going to be bold. Where do we want to do it? I think in here again. No, let's go right here. Oh, I love it. It's so grunge and so like graffiti-like. I'm a city girl. I grew up in Boston. Just outside of Boston. I love that graffiti look because this is so bold. I am going to give it a little swipe a wipe. Swipe a wipe. Just a little. I don't really care, honestly, if I'm truthful with myself and you. I don't really care if they're stained. All right, we need one more set of numbers for the next one. And the next one's going to be a little challenging because it's very dark compared to these first two. Let me show you. 42. Minerva's Touch is 42. Okay, you got it, girl. Look at how dark this one is compared to these two. These ones are really soft. This one's really, really soft. We're going to do something with this one in a minute. This one, what do I do with this, girls? What color? We're going to stamp a number. I don't even think I'm going to use this. Well, I don't think I'm going to use that. Let me grab the other one that I had originally. These polka dots. I'm going to polka dot some black on here, and then maybe I'll do a totally different color for the numbers. Maybe I'll do black. I don't know. It's hardly even showing because my pages are so wrinkled. Like this is, you guys, it doesn't get any more free than this, right? Like I'm not measuring. I'm not even really paying attention. I guess if I'm truthful with myself, I look for the places that just look like they need a little attention. Like nothing's going on over here. Nothing going on over here. So let's add a few polka dots. Places that might have got missed and they just don't look very visually interesting to me. I'm going to add some polka dots. Okay. Now for numbers. I have polka dots here. It's just leftover. This will be the back side of this. And so why not use up what's on my stamp on the back side? You can tell I like grunge, right? I'm a grunge girl. I like me some grunge. Okay. We're doing Minerva's numbers, 42. That's the answer to everything, including life and the universe. Yeah, we're getting deep here. We're talking life answers. I like it. We can apply some of what we're doing with our art to our general life. I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, and clearly it's not working. Okay, hold on. I need a color that's going to show up, so it might have to be white. I feel like if you stamp, it doesn't matter what brand. Oh, look at there's a bulb pin stuck to the side of that. How funny is that? This that's hilarious to me. This has a magnetic closure, which is super handy. And there was a bulb pin stuck to it. Okay, this is opaque white. Doesn't matter what brand. My friend, Jimmy Lou, at the Messy Craft Corner, she is a close to my heart rep. Is this business still around? Bought this from her a couple of years ago because I told her we were chatting live one day and I'm like, man, I need a white, like an opaque white stamp for my projects because I don't have one. And she said, oh, I can get you one. So I used her link and bought it. Love supporting people that way. Doesn't matter what brand, but I think an opaque white like that will show up on black is really nice to have, not only in your paints and your markers, but also in your stamps. Because here, look at how dark this is. And I want to do 42. That's Minerva's Touch. That's her, those were her number choices. 42. But I'm not sure that it's going to show up real well. So we're gonna help these numbers out because there's a lot going on these pages. So we're going to do the 42, and I'm going to show you one more technique to help these. Where's my block? Help these numbers really stand out. Now, how do I want these? Maybe we'll go a little bit separated. When there's only two, you only have so many choices of how wonky you can get. Wonky enough for you? What's on the back there? I don't know. It's got something on it. Now, I haven't used this in a while, but the good thing about this, it's very sticky, actually. You can really see. It might be easier to do it this way. I can really see what I've got going on here. I want to load it up because I really want this to show up. And I'm going to show you a way, a technique, or something you can do to these numbers to help them show up even more once you've got them stamped on. So white, I'm going to go on to the darkest part of my page so that hopefully it shows up as best possible. She doesn't do Close to My Heart now, and I think is a Stampin' Up! All the gal these days. She's a Stampin' Up! Gal. I think Close to My Heart was closing. Did I hear that right? Why do I vaguely remember someone saying that? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just hearsay. Don't believe me. If you love Close to My Heart, please don't freak out. I could be totally wrong. I'm just telling you that right now. So it's just talk, girls. It's just talk. So if you're close to my heart, go get in touch with your girl. If you haven't talked to her in a while and you're wondering, hey, I heard this lady say that it closed. Is that true? I don't know. I thought that I had heard that. So you go and verify it. And you come back and tell me, please. Was I right or was I wrong? I don't know why I think that I had heard that. There are so many of those companies closing down or closing up shop. It's really sad. Okay. I just mean direct sale companies. Here's what we got. Now, to make this come out even more. So we stamped it. I love that my stamps are super distressed. Love that about them. To make it come out a little more, what you might want to do, and personally, I'm going to take a marker, and I'm either going to take black or I'm going to take white. You can take a paint marker. You can take a gel pen. You can just take a Sharpie marker. It doesn't matter. You know, I think it would matter only if you want something permanent versus something water reactive. For example, water reactive. This is my Stabilo All pencil. I use it a lot in art journaling especially. It is water reactive. So what I mean by that, it just looks like a pencil mark, right, until you wet it. And then when you wet it, this is really wet, it's going to react to the water and I can move it around. You may want that. If you want that, use something water reactive like a Stabilo pencil. If you don't want that, use something permanent like a paint marker. Okay? Just FYI. So I love the Stabilo All pencil because it's just super fun to play with. So I'm going to come in and outline my 4 and my 2 with something black or white. It doesn't have to be. You can use metallic gold, would be fun. Oh, you showed out a color that you think would be fun. Give me some suggestions in the comments. If I'm going to outline these numbers, what is a cool color that you think you'd want to see? Like maybe a metallic, like a silver, a gold, a bronze, or do you think a bright color like hot pink would be fun? I don't know. You tell me. This needs to be sharpened. My pencil's getting dull. See how I'm going over it again and again. I want this to be really bold. I want it to help my 4 and 2 stand out, and I think it really does. The ink is permanent. That white ink, although it's still a little wet, is still a little tacky, but my Stabilo All is not. I have some white gesso left over. It's wet. It's not water, but it's a white and it's wet. And so when I touch it on my black Stabilo, it's going to move that color, which could be really cool. Because it's going to make it, it makes it this smoky, really cool smoky appearance to it. See that? Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. It's just fun to play. Now, I love that smoky and in fact, I'm just going to take a little more and do the 2 as well because I really love it. I wanted to just demonstrate to you what it does. I wasn't necessarily wanting that look, but I wanted to show you what it does, but I actually really like it. So let's just stick with it. So I'm going to smoke out. Let's call it, we're smoking it out. We're smoking out the black. Oh my word. Is that not the coolest? And I used white to do it. Look at that. Now my white numbers, my 4 and 2 really got obscured. So we can come in and we can do whatever we want. Like you can do lines all the way through there to make that pop. You can do swirls, you can do circles. You can do whatever you want. I mean, if I just come in with my white paint pen, I don't want to color the whole thing in, but what if I just came in and outlined parts of it? Not all of it. Like this got lost kind of, so let's come in here and fix this corner. See how this got really obscured down here? So if I want that to show up better, it's playtime, girls. It's kind of what I do in my art journal, but I'm making these pages for tonight for the Think Green event. You do not have to be linear like this. Like I said, if you wanted to do stripes or swirls or circles, whatever, stars, you can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to make it look graffiti-like. I love that. I think it's super cool. Gonna bounce around shows. This is coming along awesome. Give your Facebook a like and follow. Oh, thank you, Minerva's Touch. Thank you. Yes, you guys can find me on Facebook and YouTube regularly. And I've started to come live here. I'm going to put this aside so I don't get wet on the back. Now this one, similar. Let's do similar, but I'm not going to do exactly the same. It's black already. Yeah, you guys can find me regularly live on YouTube and Facebook. And now here on Whatnot once a week. So please bookmark my upcoming shows. Come and follow me in all the other places. And if you are interested in hanging out with me on the regular, I would love, love, love to have you do that and join our paid crafting club called the Craft Therapy Club. You are welcome. It's kind of what we do in there on the regular. I'm live in there like 3 or 4 times a week. This one I'm like going off the rails here with my markings on this one. So it's like super messy, right? Like extending beyond the number, the lines. Okay. Do I want to do smoke? Oh, I really like the way it looked. Let's do it. It actually darkens that Stabilo pencil a little bit. Oh, that was way too much white there. It actually darkens it a little bit. And because I'm using white gesso, it's giving it a smoky gray around the black Stabilo. All right, I need a little more wet because the Stabilo, you can move it a little dry, but when you add wet to it, it really moves when you wet it. That's a reactive, it's a charcoal pencil, so it's reactive to water. All right, there we go. What colors did you guys say I should do these letters? Thanks, Christine. I'm glad metallic green. Oh, Shauna, that would be cool. I don't know that I have a metallic green pen or marker though. Katie Smith, Georgia. I think some reason I do think that I remember that, but don't hurt yourself. Oh, letting your nerd out. That's the answer to everything. I love that you're getting philosophical. Ooh, scrumptious. What a good word. What a good word. Okay, I'm going to go with gold this time, just to be a little different. And I think the gold will show up well. Instead of black and white, let's try to use a little gold. I don't know if this is going to come out of here right away. Let's just test it. I got to wet the felt nip of this, or nib, what do you call it? Come on. I'm not a big fan of these. I just put in my Amazon cart some metallic Poscas because I like them so much better. Okay. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing with gold here. I'm just going to contour what I got going on. Oh, it's not taking it with some gold. It's just not working, girls. Let's try the other one. I might just throw these out. They always give me trouble and it drives me crazy. So then I think, why am I keeping a product that just doesn't work well for me? All right, this one has a bigger tip and it seems to be coming out. Yeah, now I'm getting some gold. The other one I think I'm just going to throw it out. I mean, it's not even worth donating. It's like it just doesn't work. If it was just something I didn't like but it worked and I just didn't like it, I would donate it to the local thrift store. But I don't even think it works. Well, why give that to somebody to be equally frustrated? I wouldn't do that to you, friend. I'm all for reusing, recycling things, but not if it doesn't work. Oh, I like the gold a lot. In fact, I'm loving the gold on this page so much. I think I'm going to just do some gold markings on the page because I'm having fun with it. And I like the bit of gold. So just random, whatever, circles, crosses, X's, hearts, doesn't matter. Let's go in here and just add some X's in between these two paper lines because there's not a whole lot going on right here. I'm going to use these tonight in the Think Green event on Facebook, so you can come join me there. Up here, there's not a whole lot going on, so what markings can I do over here? Let's do a little bit of those again, just like they're like little half moon, little scallops. They're not done well because I don't have a consistent hand with this stuff. Usually they're not the same shape, size. They're very random and carefree. Let's just call it carefree. Kind of gypsy-like. We're just gonna not worry about being consistent or all of them matching exactly. If you needed them to, I would say use a stencil. I'm gonna go all the way down the edge here. Can you see what I'm doing? Just little metallic scallops and right off the edge of the paper. Oh my goodness, I love it. I actually love that so much. Let's pull, I'm gonna put this aside to dry. This black page, I'm gonna add a little bit of this here. Now this one, what I could do is just highlight the in-between. I know I was telling you I'm trying to obscure the in-between, but here, kind of a play on that is to highlight the in-between, the juncture point between papers. This one's ripped, so we have a little rip right there. Not trying to be super accurate. I'm just trying to add markings here. In metallic. Because the page is so dark, it's not going to show up really obvious to the eye. See how this paper was torn? We're just going to go along the tear in a really messy way. A little bit of art journaling marking going on here. Over here, I have to keep wetting my marker tip. I got a pool of, that's why I don't like these markers at all. I just don't think they hold well. I like Posca so much better. This is the brand I'm not a fan of, but I have them, so I'm trying to use them up, kind of thing. Remember, these are pages that are going to go in a journal that I'm going to start tonight or work on tonight in that event. Let's just, so it matches, let's do a little bit of that down here. Same marking, just diagonal slashes. There's nothing fancy here. Oh, these a little bolder. I don't even have to go up the whole edge. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. What time is it? We've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. Crazy town. No, an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not very good with math. Let's see. 8:15, 9:15, hour and a half. Let's say it's been about an hour and a half. I've had so much fun working on these. I'm going to continue working on this right now off screen. And then tonight, if you want to join me on Facebook at 7:45, I'll be live on my Facebook page, The Comfy-ness with Grace. Thanks, Christina. I love the words you guys are using. Scrumptious is a great word. Let me catch up with some. I know the time flies by, but this is what I'm saying about tired crafting. Like, this is a great activity to do, and do it in an art journal. It doesn't have to be page making. I'm making pages for a junk journal that I'm going to start working on today. I'm going to work on it tonight at that event. But you can just do this in a composition notebook in front of the TV. Get a bunch of your markers and paints in a bucket with some brushes and just sit and watch a show and let your hands, I can't just sit and watch TV. I have to have my hands doing something. So this is great play, and a great way to use up your stuff. All right, ladies. Thanks for being here with me. I do appreciate you. Let's raid somebody, huh? How many people are here right now? Do you mind raiding? We're going to raid somebody just to show some support. You don't have to stick around the whole time, but let me get you off the tripod here so I can do this. When we raid, I do ask you to do a row of chicks like that you see in the comments when you get there, so that they know that we are all jumping over to support them from the Crafty Chicks. Yeah, Christina, let's do it. Who are we going to raid? Let me see who is live right now. We have some folks who are live creators, and we have some folks who are live who are selling stuff. So we have Art Ories, handmade clothing and accessories. We got Always a Deal for You, has beading and jewelry supplies. Crickets Collectibles has other craft supplies. Let's see, who else? Pit Love is on. She has got vintage decor, and Am McIntosh is on with estate sales. Let's do Pit Love. Let's head on over to Pit Love maybe. Let me see. Stitch and Rainbow. Blessed Beads Techniques. Let's do this one. Pit Love. Let's go head on over. Let her know we're heading on over from the Comfy-ness with Grace. Thanks, Crafty Chicks.